Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming here. And I would love to introduce our speaker. StemRX clinic from Mumbai. We had a big pleasure to visit this clinic, and I was so surprised that this clinic breaking the rules of aging. Dr. Pradeep can say that he can change situation when a woman in 60 years can give birth. Or we saw a woman who was need a joint replacement, but after 2 weeks after treatment, she was walking. So it is amazing results, amazing for new technologies. And I would love to introduce our speaker, Dr. Pradeep. Please introduce your methods and tell us how our agencies can cooperate with you, please.
Thank you for introduction. Dr. Geo from the SPA. At the onset of my talk today, the fountain of youth, but at the same time, I have mentioned a word called as aging is a mistake. Special thanks to Natalia and the organizer group, Global Health Team or Global Health Tourism Group, to give me a platform here to make the concept of centenarian life. Foundation of youth and aging is a mistake are the two different aspects of the same coin. About myself, Dr. Pradeep from StemRX, Mumbai. We have a center of your excellence as a smart technology for aging as a scientific way to say it's a mistake. This lab works out the different kind of protocols which are based on scientific evidences. How to make our currently largely and globally spoken longevity. If you Google right now, there are hundreds of websites, hundreds of companies which are offering longevity treatment. But these treatments which are offered are at one single point using one technology or the two technology or three technology. Never forget, aging is a multi-prong, means there are hundreds of factors when you talk of aging. It is not only one or two factors which we talk. Now, StemRX is building with the concept of this focusing on multi-prong factors on an aging process. I call it a mistake for the reason if you happen to understand, if aging was a process like naturally we called, then we could not think of halting the process. Today, with the science outcoming up, we have multiple factors affecting the aging process. And it's not a normal, I call it is a disease which represents in the form of various degenerative conditions in the cellular mechanisms, which may reflect because of lifestyle, because of radiations around, because of unstable DNA, because of loss of information. When cell divides, the progeny which comes, they lose some information from the primary mother cell. This is a very different concept, which I'll talk to you subsequently. Dr. David has been talking on this topic a long time. If we cover up all these signs, probably aging, when you call as a disease, we can stop it and reverse it. The reason being that there are many organisms in the world, they die young, like hydra, starfish, protozoa. They die young. They don't have any diseases to die. They don't get any kind of disease, aging diseases. There are moles, very specific moles, which die young. Whereas normal moles, they have a lifespan of 1 or 2 years. I'll show you subsequently these moles, which are going to show lifespan as a different concept, and they die young. So when we compare these two classes of animals, we come to know the best part of the life, that it is a disease, not as a process. By training a neurosurgeon and professor of surgery, I work in Indiana University as an adjunct professor, and I'm a diplomat of American Board of Regenerative Medicine and a faculty of regenerative medicine at University in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is one of the top states in India, and the university is one of the top ranking universities. We carry our own repairing kits in the body. This is the basic concept of my life. All these repairing kits in our body are present. They do maintain professional physiological repairing systems in the body. From DNA repair to unfolded protein extrusions to DNA stability to cell division and maintaining the microenvironment in the body. But we are devils to destroy this. So I look at my profile, looking into how do we work on these kind of technologies where the repairing kit of the body could be used as a tool for make you young. We have a clinical and research team. I'm going to talk to you not on extension of life, but healthy extension. That is lifespan and health span. The group of doctors working with me, entrepreneurs, and also institutional allies, they work on advanced biotechnology to reverse the aging by improving health span and improve the cognitive as well as memory and physical endurance of the body. My team comes from pan world, from US, from Indiana University. We have Dr. Sain from All India Institute, Dr. Dinda, Professor Sujata, Dr. Venkatesh Phenomon, Meghnad Joshi, Dr. Nitin, all are my mentors and the advisors of the company. We at StemRX, anti-aging is a premier destination where we work on comprehensive wellness. Now, comprehensive wellness means, as I spoke to you, multi-dimensional, multi-pronged. These multi-pronged has to be worked on cellular level, extracellular matrix level, DNA level, cytosol level, and also bioelectric system of the cell. If we work on this together, probably we can extend the life 100 plus without disease. The mission is, you make it at 60s this, and I want to keep you at 30s at this level. This is at around 20s, where cutting-edge treatments, personalized care, holistic approach, empower our clients to give them the best of potential to live longer with health. Our approach in anti-aging is multifactional, which I already told you, which works on regeneration, cell therapies, laser procedure, microcellular environment, management of that, and latest genetic and intracellular interaction and microcellular environment. And further, what we add it is fetal factors. There are 3 phases of life. One, which we grow as a fetus, the factors in your blood are different. When you grow as a teenager, factors in your blood are different. And we grow as an old, we have factors like senescence and inflammatory factors. Whereas in earlier 2 phase, there are no senescence or inflammatory factors. Whereas when you go to fetal, the entire process is division and growing the body. So we have a protocol where we use these fetal factors which regenerate the whole body, keeping your body dimensionally fit in endurance, cellular functions, and organ functions, as well as brain, which is more important, improving their cognitive and memory functions. This is a part of the entire treatment program. We promise you, we age, but graciously, not with the disease. We look our future youthful. We look our appearance as young as when we were 20s and 30s and 40s. We have a association, globally affiliation with the Ohio State, DoctorGEO&SPA, AIMS, Maharashtra University, STEM Medica, SanoSTEM, and ITM University. These are the places, universities and academic institutions where we have tie-up for research and academic programs. The mystery of aging is not today's history. It's a long time, thousands of years before. Why you should select StemRX? Because we have an experience of 50 years of anti-aging program or graciously aging program, which promotes tissue repair and regeneration within the body, which is a source to build in vivo cells, which are using vascular endothelial cells and VACL cells, very small embryonic-like stem cells. These programs are customized depending on your age factor, morbid conditions, and no morbid conditions. Facility of state of an art, where you will find all these, what I'm going to talk, are in-house systems, and it is added with a holistic way, like panchakarmas and other detoxification programs. Commitment: when you finish the treatment of 1 month or 2 months, you will not be the same man when you come in. When you go out, you will be a different person. Feeling young, not feeling young. Being young, I would say rather. Feeling young inside and being young outside. This mystery is an old age dream for everyone. Everyone. 1546, the youth of Fontaine was one of the theme that waters of these fountain were supposed to, you take a bath in it, and they say you are immortal. Mystery of Fontaine of youth is in you, not in this pond, not in fountain. This is what I'm going to tell you today with this pictogram, that your mystery of youth is within you, not in the fountain. When you go to the fountain and when you look into inside, there's a big difference. Quest of mortality is not today, as I told you. Years in Egyptian history, people have been doing, Indian mythology, people have been doing. All these are immortal structures. Structure of immortality pyramid, people after the death, they used to glorify the life of after the death as if second life they will get from the same body. These are certain different factors of the life. And this is 2560 BCE. Then the structure and the imaging of immortality was dream, but immortality is still today a dream. But gracious aging is possible. And StemRX keeps you centenarian life, 100 years plus without diseases, live like a young, die like a young. Okinawa is a land of centenarian. Have you ever thought why people of Okinawa in Japan, they live 100 plus, most of the people? I did a lot of research on this. I went to Okinawa, Japan, to find out what is the difference of my lifestyle and the Okinawa people. Then the n number of factors could be understood. Community living, sharing stress, food habits, sleeping habits, then eating habits, then stress-free life, community living, all they play a major role. The major role. And this makes Okinawa as a centenarian island. Aging, then I call as a myth. Why we age and why we don't have to. Ask yourself question. This myth is not understood by many people or misunderstood by the people. But you have a question from my side, why we age and why we don't have to age. Yes, aging, what is exactly called as lifelong accumulation of damages in the tissue, cells, molecules, occur as an intrinsic side effect of the normal body operations. Understood my mean? It is a normal process in the body is happening, because of which there's a huge accumulation of unfolded proteins, unstable DNAs, cytosol collecting the unfolded proteins, extracellular matrix collecting the unfolded proteins, telomeres reducing the length. We are unable to maintain that. Certain genes which are longevity and certain genes which are pathological, we have to identify this. Around 20% of the population will definitely show genetic presentation of longevity. So we look into all these factors so that what is aging, metabolism, ongoing causes damage. Damage eventually causes pathology. See, initial damage is a part we call gerontology. It's a science of aging. And damage which leads to pathology is called disease of aging. So these all problems in the body go through millions of biochemical reactions which you see in front of your screen, which shows, imagine the connections of each biological reaction taking from liver to kidney to brain to intestine to our lungs to muscles to bones, whatnot. These are today interconnected. If you want to do those all reactions outside the body, it's a nightmare. It's impossible. So as I told you, these metabolisms play a major role. Not natural, aging is a disease. Now, as I told you, blind mole or naked mole have a life without fragility, exceptionally longevity, like more than 10 to 15 years. Perpetual motion is impossible. So then there is a hope. Yes, aging of species is inspiration. Now, when you see there's a cliff, aging cliff, you have to, from young age to middle age to around 50s and 60s, and suddenly at this cliff of age, your age starts falling down. This, we have to tackle this cliff of age. If you tackle this cliff will remain straight and your stem cell population in the body is maintained. What is the major factor? Inflammatory cytokines, DNA damage with the environmental factors. If you see the environmental factors, damaging the DNA and producing the senescence cells. And senescence cells produce inflammatory cytokines. This is a basic pathology which takes place for all the factors which I mentioned just now to you. As a common signs, sight, arthritis, pot belly, wrinkles, losing stamina, snoring, white hair, hair loss, erectile dysfunction are small symptoms which represent gradually in your life, which we call them signs of aging. And when you know that, organ-wise, you can say brain, you can say hepatocellular, you can say heart, you can say respiratory lung disease, diabetes, then you can say diverticular of the colon, carcinomas, osteoporosis. All these are organ-wise symptoms which come represent with the aging process. I don't think of myself as old. I say, when I say this, I mean, I don't think I'm at 67, young, living like a 40s life. Believing me, I cannot become old because old may make me wisdom, give me wisdom with the patience and wisdom, but it at the same time loses my skin elasticity, makes my vision fade away, makes me bones become brittle. Injuries become slowly healing, and this makes me disabled. But getting older with graciously, disability is not there. So I make getting older should be healthier, then it is not equivalent to disabled. So I remove this scratch here, and then getting older is equivalent to disabled if we don't maintain the health span and we look for only lifespan. It is a tunnel, long time tunnel, which ends in the thought process of immortality. But come, let's go in the tunnel. Immortality is an option we will be thinking, but longevity is in your hand. Longevity is in your hand. That is how we do through the innovation, utilizing your body repairing kits and ageless therapies at StemRX, which are built up based on the causes of aging, genomic instability, telomere attrition, epigenetic factors, loss of proteostasis, deregulation of nutrient senescences, then mitochondrial dysfunction. This plays a major role, mitochondrial dysfunction. I will talk a lot on this particular mitochondrial dysfunction. All this can happen if your mitochondrial function comes down, if your immune system comes down, your vascularity comes down. All these are the subsequent factors which are going to happen. Cellular senescence, again a product of mitochondrial dysfunction. Stem cell exhaustion, again a product of mitochondrial dysfunction. Altered interaction or intracellular communication, again a reason of mitochondrial dysfunction. Genomic instability, again a mitochondrial dysfunction. Telomere atresia, again a genomic mitochondrial dysfunction. Epigenetic, all this plays around mitochondria. So StemRX has played a major role. How do we improve mitochondrial dysfunction and remove the insulin resistance in the body? This makes you live longer and longer and longer. And this makes to you target the human life, which I call human life are destined to live for 120 to 150 years. But we, our lifestyle and our habits, we are reduced to 75 to 80, half of the lifespan. This is a calculation based on mathematics. This is decided by your aging or your age on which you become fertile. That is maturity age. This factor, if you divide with 8 or 7, you get a span of the life. Humans mature at 18 to 20 years of age. Divide by 7, you will get 130 to 140 age. You divide this application, most of the mammalians, you will get the answer of how do we decide aging process. I told you about the epigenetic noise. I told you when the cell is divided from 1 to 2, the DNA methylation takes place, histone protease plays a role, and there is always a loss of epigenetic information due to genetic damage. And this is called epigenetic noise, which loses the information. And in my opinion, this loss of information is very important so that the progeny misses out some of the information, and that starts the aging process. That makes the genes unstable. That makes the telomeres reduce. That makes the collection of unfolded proteins. So scientifically, we look into this. How do you make functionally young, though figure-wise you remain old? Now, there are these dysfunctional cells in the body. There are certain concepts which are going to come in our treatment. These are called as young transfusion to the old age. Then the factors of age play a major role in the old age to repair the body. As we grow older, the number of stem cells play a major role. At birth, we have 100% stem cells, so we are building the whole body to grow the body to make 150 trillion cells of the whole body and 220 organs. But at the same time, as we grow towards 30, your process of aging, collection of garbage in the form of unfolded proteins and DNA stability starts. And as we improve, if we don't improve the quality of life, stem cells get exhausted as we grow older, older and older. But suppose I maintain the lifestyle and the pattern of StemRX, which is given as an anti-aging program or graciously aging program, and I maintain your stem cell ratio at this level, 30 to 40, your aging will be gracious without signs of aging disease. This is a graph which will show you cells and years, the way we want to catch up. And this difference, you can see healthy aging program at 80s, 60s, 40s, and 20s. And when you don't have a healthy aging program, your decline of aging is so fast at the level where we come exhausted. I die with the disease when I have diseases of aging. And when I don't have aging disease, I die like a young. I die like a young like this. And this is a cliff, I told you cliff. And this is a cliff of aging. You can maintain up to 80, 90 years, the cliff maintained with the healthy life. Whereas if you see, the cliff goes down at 40s here, double the difference of age. So let us talk on all the factors which I told you, diet, exercise, social corrections, which are very important. As I told you, Okinawa. I bring at that kind of conditions in the healthy lifestyle, plus the various molecules by investigating in two categories. One is cellular senescences, and one is routine checkup, which gives a pattern of diseases in your body, like CRP. It is inflammation in the body, which is very important. Inflammatory markers, biochemistry of the organs, very important. Whereas senolytic test, NAD association, NAD estimation, telomere testing, microbiome testing, these are the cellular senescence tests, which will give us an idea how fast we are aging. We don't have to wait till we get our CRP raised or inflammatory marker raised. So we work on cellular senescence and try to make ourselves protected from the aging disease. These are certain investigations we advise before we take in the category of anti-aging program. Now, this is for the important, we know, calculate the aging process. How old are you? Age calculation tool. Now, chronological age, we have to keep separately because it depends. And second, chronological age is a calendar age. Whereas DNA age, epigenetic age, depends on your methylation rate, And this methylation, DNA methylation, is very, very important. If you work on that, probably your age calculation comes in a real factor as epigenetic age. In a phenotypic calculation, we use certain factors like albumin, creatine, glucose, C-reactive protein, various lymphocyte volume, all those alkaline phosphatase, white blood cell count are important for us to mark the phenotypic age, which is a chronological age. Whereas when we look into the aging process of DNA age, which I already showed you, we look into these factors, methylation, telomerase, which are very important. Stem cell therapy, currently we are talking as the treatment part for longevity. Yes, it is one of the part, but that is not all the part. Life sees what we are. What are the ways? Narrow bandwidth and broad bandwidth. Narrow bandwidth is targeting each disease, each molecule, whereas stem cell is a broad band. That is the reason I say stem cell can be a broad bandwidth for treating anti-aging. Whereas the products of stem cell like exosomes, growth factors can also be added to the targeted treatment depending on the targeted organs. So we look into broad band treatment than the narrow band. Narrow band takes a hell of a time to target each at molecular level. Whereas broad band, it changes the entire microenvironment by the stem cell itself. Targeting individual, as mentioned above, holistic approach is very important in the regenerative medicine. Then we have option, longevity or immortality. I would say immortality is a dream, but longevity is in our hands. Stem cells, the source we can use, the source we can use from our own body, bone marrow, adipose, fat, cord. I would say rather, the list is very small here, but the list most best cells are the placental MSCs because they are the one playing the immunomodulatory role from the mother to protect the baby, in spite the baby is a foreign body in the womb of mother. So anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory, reparative, angiogenic, anti-vascular, vascular, at the same time anti-apoptic, anti-fibrotic, all those roles what we want, the stem cells can play, particularly placental stem cells. I insist more on the placental stem cells. And this umbrella of regenerative medicine covers the factor of we have to repair, we have to replace, we have to restore, we have to regenerate. And it comes as a plethora, complete plethora of various sources of adult cells, which are adult, then adult stem cells, Then embryonic cells. In adult, we have a very powerful cell which is called as a VSEL cell, very small embryonic stem cells. StemRX has developed a special program of VSEL cells, which has a very special marker present of embryonic SOX2. I spoke about gerontology, is where damage is taking place, where the signs of aging. Whereas geriatric, when the damage has taken place and we enter the pathological phase, that is geriatrics. So we have to have two targets. One, gerontology, where we maintain the functions of the organ without allowing more damage to take place. That is gerontology. StemRX has a special program for gerontology and special program geriatrics, where you're already in the disease pattern. This is the beauty of StemRX, where we want to talk to your life healthy span, not the lifespan. You may live long, but what is the use? 2 days in the hospital, 1 day at home. This doesn't make the life sense. So the program we divide as absolutely healthy individuals at gerontology or before that, with related diseases, age-related disease, and third, which makes you bankrupt, like disease of kidney failure, cardiac problems, Alzheimer's disease load is so much so. So we work as a king of good times. You remain good time throughout your life. Struggler king who is trying to become young, but bankrupt king is one who wants to survive. And I don't want my clients, my patients, my subjects should be going into bankruptcy stage of aging with the serious disease. I would love to have you king of good times and struggling kings, where strugglings I can bring down the king of good times. So overall story is, as I explained you, number of stem cells at birth, as we grow older, 50%, older age 75%, as we grow, expand the life. We want to maintain the life between 150% of the cells so that we improve the quality of life. As I told you, VSEL cell, very small embryonic life stem cells. These are the cells play a major role in our life, using to maintain the aging process very, very slow. We have also a young people banking system. When you are at young youth, 18, 20 years, we can bank your stem cells as young as you are there today to use them at when you grow older, at 50s and 60s of your own autologous stem cells, young adult stem cells, which can be used to maintain your youth throughout your life. So there are certain drugs which we are recommended in our aging program, like rapamycin. It's again an increasing lifespan, but we want at the same time health span, but which is a life-extending lifespan. In a genetically, it has been proven in the mice, and it is one of the anti-aging cocktail which we prescribe along with berberine, metformin, which keeps your diabetic index or glycemic index at a very, very low level, which is very important for the anti-aging program. Then how do we manage the senescence cells? Managing senescent cells will play with the lifestyle modification, most important, which anybody has any question, they can connect with me. Modification doesn't mean that not eating these or not going these. It has to a scientific program. Nutritional support, which kind of nutrition? Hormone replacement, caloric restriction, which is done by metformin or berberine. Targeted therapies, synthetic drugs, which we use, stem cell therapies, topical retinoids and sunscreen, or some of the products which we apply on the skin, which protects the skin damage, and some of the yogic exercises and meditation. These are the basic thing to manage the senescence. But at the same time, we use the most powerful tool, what we call as MDI, which I'll talk subsequently, that is mitochondrial dysfunction correction. Now, there is a theory which is worldwide being spoken. When the young blood is injected into an old aging child, a baby of mice, the mice becomes younger It is already a concept which is proven in the body. So StemRX has a plan of working on young plasma transfusions, which carry almost all every healing factor, growth factor, or signaling factors, what we require for the cells to get the signals to maintain the microenvironment ecosystem young in the body. So throughout the body, aging goes as aging process and shrinking. So this is a young survival. This is an inflammatory cytokine. So change of blood with the growth factors will help to make fetal plasma transplant, which makes this back to young. Biological aging and chronological aging. I already told you on biological aging, that is the DNA age or epigenetic age, whereas chronological, which is a biological, what is age with the calendar. We have hydrogen therapies for various organs directly through nose or directly to the organs. We have clothoprotein therapy, which is proven to be regulator of aging process, renal function, neuroprotection, cardioprotection. These are administered as recombinant clothoproteins, gene therapy, and small molecule modulators, which we use it like. NAD, this is one of the best molecule which gives a DNA repair, most important. Second, it gives the most important certain stability in the genes, anti-aging potential, health benefits, gene expression regulation, also it does it. Now, NAD in the Krebs cycle plays a major role to produce NADH or FADH, which is equally important for anti-aging effect. So we have various sources of them, intravenous, oral, and StemRX has the best volume of intramuscular injections of NAD+, which you can do at your home, which is only molecule present at 2-3 centers globally. StemRX is one of them, which makes you get this product for your utility. Now, NAD is as equivalent to exercise or intermittent fasting. Levels in the NAD levels in the body, they decline as you grow older. So we need to replenish them to maintain the DNA synthesis and stability, particularly in the aging process, make it proper. Now, as I told you, NAD plays a role like increasing the pericytes. Pericytes are the mesenchymal cells in the body, anchoring along the blood vessels. If I use them, they increase the number. Chaperones, unfolded proteins, they are called heat shock proteins. I may not go details, but they are the one playing a major role of stiffness in the joints, stiffness in the cytosol, and make the aging process very fast. So we use mostly HSP70, which is a very important role. It is delivered in your body through skin using emu oil. Emu oil. We have these products which will remove these things from your body, unfolded proteins from the cytosol as well as extracellular matrix, and make your aging process much gracious, much gracious. This is very important for us. Super vitamins, they play a major role. Antioxidants, like not only C or E, but glutathione plays a major role. L-glutathione plays a role. Vitamin D plays a major role, along with high dose of vitamin C, along with the detoxification program with using particularly blood chelations. HBOT, some of the centers in Middle East, they claim HBOT is the only anti-aging program, but not alone HBOT can do everything. HBOT is a part of the chamber where pressurized chambers deliver 100% oxygen to your body. Intestinal microbiota transplant, we change the entire flora of the intestine, which is unhealthy in the form of Clostridia or difficile or E. coli or Klebsiella, and put into back healthy bacteria like Streptococci, Lactobacilli, Escherichia, and bifidobacteria, which are very important, and they play a major role again most of the diseases in your body, particularly aging diseases and metabolic disorders. Telomeric length and telomere enzymes plays a major role. StemRX have a programs which maintains for telomeres lengthening process as much as possible, which gives the cell an anti-aging effect. Ozone therapies, antioxidant, oxygenation, immunomodulation, anti-inflammatory effect. So chronic infections, wound healing, arthritis, autoimmune disease, in a king where the disease are there, but not very serious diseases like arthritis, like you can say spine problem, disc problem, early diabetes, diabetic small complications. These can be used here as a treatment. Chelation, as already spoke you. Then peptides, all type of peptides, musculoskeletal peptides, neuropeptides, metabolic peptides, all peptides play a major role to alleviate all the symptoms, as I told you. Weight is the biggest problem. Libido, maintaining the sexual desire, is also a very important aspect of the aging process. Skin brightness and tightening of the skin is also very important. Strengthening the immune system. So peptide therapy, along with the stem cells and the red light therapy and MDR, changes your aging process completely. So we have a number of peptide, BPC, CGC, ipamorelin, and others one. I will not talk. WNT and aging, which is a very important. As I told you, we have a program to maintain the telomeres, WNT pathway. We work on these protein, which maintains the telomere activity for a long time in the body. Mitochondrial dysfunction, I spoke sometime before. This is a central core of your anti-aging program. If my battery of my body, mitochondria, produces continuous ATPs, my DNA will be stable, my functions of enzyme production will be normal, hormone production will be normal, cell division will be normal, ECM will be stronger, maintain, cytosol will maintain, and we are out of aging process. So we maintain mitochondrial dysfunction using mitochondrial interface program, MDI, we call it like. And we maintain M1 to M2, that is inflammatory mitochondria we remove, and non-inflammatory mitochondria we work on this slide.
Dr. Pradeep,
Yeah, I'll come on to conclusion.
Yes, please, because we are limited in time and we need
I'm closing talk. I'm closing talk. The other facilities are HBOT, growth factors, thymus rejuvenation. These are certain important programs which we have got, which I already mentioned you. Can a human being live for 140 years? Yes, a man can live for 140 years, younger than what you decide. The scientific quest of immortality, though it is impossible, but longevity is a gift to you. So there are many companies in the world that are working on this. Our protocol, I have mentioned it here. StemRX, InflameX, which are the projects of here. The entire program I have mentioned here. If anybody wants and detailed information on this, you can communicate with my team at the end of my talk. The StemRX is your personal trainer, taking everything under one zone, reversing your biological clock. Biological, though have gone ahead, will bring it back to your aging precious process. Mystery of fountain of youth is within you, my dear friends, not in the fountain. And thank you for a patient hearing. I believe a lot of questions will come, and we are there to maintain your youth life under this banner of StemRX is your personal trainer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. So please tell us how many days a patient need to come and get approximately program. For example, if not so heavy sick person, just for youngs, for change metabolism, how many days do he need?
It is 4 weeks to 8 week program, depending on your evaluation.
8 weeks program. So person
4 to 8 weeks program. If you are with diseases, it is a longer. If you are not with the diseases, it is a 4-week program.
Mm-hmm. So the patient need to come to Mumbai and stay there, correct?
But the good news for you is that he comes, he doesn't go the same way out. He will go out differently, experience the youthness.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible, for example, to come, but now people too busy, life very fast, and for example, to come for 1 week to get treatment, after that to come again. Is it possible?
That is, we can make a program which is divided in 4 parts. That can be done. 7 days, 10 days, 7 days, we can do that. That is always possible.
I see. Shall patients stay in your hospital, or they can be like in outpatient clinic to stay in a hotel or some resort and come for treatment?
Yeah, we have that arrangements done with around a very good 5-star hotels and 7-star hotel and resorts where we keep them in the regular times, and during the therapy times they come to the hospital.
Good. So thank you very much. We will share contact of Dr. Pradeep to everyone who was registered for this seminar. We will send recordings, and I hope we will have a possibility to meet you again in Mumbai to visit your clinic and to see what amazing job you can do.
It will be highly pleasurable for me to meet you again, your group, and take this science to the people who need to live young and create the young world. I hope you should be responsible to keep the people young and live young.